Thursday, September 6, 2016. Monaco 64, home of alternative economics and contrarian views. So it's around 3:30 p.m. London time. Gold is continuing to drop lower. We're now at 1253.20, so that's down $13 in my system. The spot price. Again, we've had the U.S. come in at the usual time, and then you see gold drop, fairly sharply overnight and early today in London. We held above 1260, got up to 1269, but for some reason, the U.S. comes in and the price of gold falls. But what I want to talk about as well, it is a bit, a lot of people out there probably. Not the die-hard gold investors, but a lot of people that have thought of buying gold and have or mining shares, they're getting hit really hard, and they're probably, given up and sold all their positions. I actually want to talk about the UK and gold because there's a lot of intrigue as far as the UK gold reserves are concerned. We had Gordon Brown, who was the Chancellor of the Exchequer in the Blair government, and then he became Prime Minister as well later on. He sold 58% of the UK's gold reserves between 1999 and 2002. So, there's a lot of speculation as to why he did that. And the other thing that he did, he pre-announced the sale. And I read here from Wikipedia, it says the UK government's intention to sell gold and reinvest the proceeds in foreign currency deposits, including euros, which was a new currency back then, was announced on 7th of May 1999 when the price of gold stood at $282.40. The official stated reason was to diversify assets from gold. And that was the story. And then it says as well, the advance notice of the substantial sales drove the price of gold down by 10% by the time of the first auction on the 6th of July 1999. With many gold traders shorting. Gold reached a low point of 252.80 on July 20th, 1999. And then it says UK sold 395 tons of gold over 17 auctions, an average price of $275. The UK now has 310 tons. So compared, to other countries, for example, Germany has 3,378. Italy has 2,500 tons. France has 2,400. So the reason I'm talking about the UK gold reserves is that now that we've left, we're going to leave the EU, the European Union, even though we're not in the euro. We had the sort of the European Union behind us in terms of negotiations with other countries around the world. And, the countries of the European Union like Germany, Italy, France, even Netherlands has 612 tons. The ECB has 504 tons. Even Portugal has more, 382 tons. So we had this kind of power. There's the old saying, he who has the gold has, the power. And now, that we're leaving the European Union, we only had 310 tons of gold. We're behind Portugal, Saudi Arabia, Taiwan, Turkey, India, Netherlands, Japan. Is it possible that the UK government is replenishing its gold reserves? It is possible because the UK is going to have to be on its own now to deal with the rest of the world. And if you don't have any gold on the table, it's like poker chips. You've got no power. The EU, I guess, still has, a lot of gold. If you add up all the gold reserves from Germany, Italy, and France alone, let's say that's 3.3, 7.79. They've got over 10,000 tons, just France, Italy, and Germany. And the US has 8,100 tons. So that shows you, how very little gold the UK has. And the other thing I like to touch upon is the SDR, the currency of the IMF. And there's been a lot of talk about the reset. I made videos about it. I didn't say things were going to collapse on October 2nd to 3rd, which was earlier this week. But I did say, that the UK took the biggest brunt of the weighting, like it lost the biggest percentage of the weighting. And it's interesting that looking here on the chart, on September 30th, the pound basically closed around 130. And since October 2nd, which was the October 3rd, which was Monday, we've dropped all the way to 126.46 where we're now. And the other thing that's happening this whole week, first week of October, the China is a national holiday every day in China. So the Chinese Shanghai Gold Exchange is not open. So it's easier for the West to manipulate the price of gold lower. Gold in pounds is even this morning before the U.S. came in, it was around 1,000 pounds. And beginning of the year, we're at 735. So it's still gaining quite well. Right now, it's 992 because after the U.S. came in, the pound didn't rise, but gold's been hit harder. So is it possible, it's not impossible that the Bank of England, the Fed, the BIS, all the people who, control the IMF had a meeting sometime and they said, well, the pound needs to be devalued. That we know that. It's not because just of Brexit. It's just that we've got so much debt. We need to devalue the pound to accommodate for the yuan. Let's do it in October. Let's go ahead and also help the UK replenish its gold reserves. But we have to do it in a way that doesn't scare people, that doesn't, the market, we don't squeeze all the bullion bank short. So what do? They come in on Monday and start taking away at gold. Breaks, we break the 1303 key support, and then all the, speculative money just rushes out. And then the UK just, loading up on gold because, maybe there is some kind of monetary realignment in the horizon where the IMF SDR is kind of used as a reserve currency, but with the yuan, and you have to add gold to it, and the UK needs more gold. We only have 300 tons. And Italy and France and Germany have over 2,000. Sometimes, Germany has over 3,000 and we only have 300. We need to do something, I guess. Maybe that's what's going on. I don't know. All I'm trying to say is that, it feels bad that gold is going down like this, but I don't think anything fundamentally has changed. I think, if you watch my previous video today, there's so many trillions of dollars missing from the Treasury. How, can we trust, putting our money in Federal Reserve notes, which are based on, the Treasury's full faith and credit? And the same thing goes for the UK. And if the UK wants to be a participant on its own in the world, it needs more gold at the table. So who knows? There's even an interesting story from 2012 when the Queen, it's from Sky News, and I'll put the link below. It says Queen quizzes Osborne about sale of UK gold, and that was in 2012 when George Osborne was the Chancellor of the Exchequer, or the Finance Minister of the UK. And that was about 10 years after Gordon Brown sold all that gold. And the Queen actually says when he meets him, she says, shame that all those bricks at the Bank of England are not, most of them are not ours. That's what I paraphrase her, that's what she said to George Osborne. And he says, yeah, unfortunately, a lot of them were sold, and by Gordon Brown, of course. So even the Queen noticed that. So if the UK is going to go at it alone, maybe we're replenishing our gold reserves. Of course, we wouldn't tell people in advance that we would be replenishing our gold reserves, because that would drive the price of gold a lot higher. Unless, unlike Gordon Brown, who's, pre-announced the sale of the gold reserves. They learned a lesson, hopefully, the Tory government now in power, that if we're going to replenish our gold reserves, don't pre-announce it. Do it on the sly. So maybe that's what's happening here. That's why gold is so volatile these days, these last few days. Maybe we're seeing a realignment of monetary setup of governments in the world. Will it happen to the U.S.? Has the U.S. really got over 8,000 tons of gold? Is that really enough? There's been no audit since the 50s of the U.S. Holdings of gold. So that's what I wanted to talk about. If you enjoyed this video, please like it, share, and if you haven't subscribed to my channel yet, please do. And if you'd like to donate to my channel, there's some links below in the description. Take care. Bye.